What's happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So I wasn't actually even going to talk about this today, but in a previous video, I mentioned earlier that, I talked about having a partnership we'll talk about that another day, right? Well, today's the day. So as you saw on the title here, having a partnership, is that a good idea or a bad idea? Well, I'll give you a little bit of my 2 cents from experience. So now having a partnership actually can be a blessing. It really can. It really just depends. Um, when it comes to having your own business, it's hard to find someone that's going to really work, as hard as you're going to work. I mean, it's tough to find someone that has the same energy that's going to care about it as much as you care about it. So remember that what I just said, because that right there is going to be one of those things that you have to figure out. When you're selecting a partner, are they going to really put in as much time and effort and as you are, because that's the hard part. That's why out speaking of like partnerships and people that are self-employed or business owners, they struggle trying to find someone that can replace them, which again, you kind of have to think about it. Like, you're probably not going to find someone in most cases that are going to really be able to replace you, do what you do, care about the business as much as you do. Now, there are people out there, and if you're one of those, it's fantastic. You're making someone so happy, and I hope that they know what they have, if you're that person. So, but back on, talking about a partnership is, yeah, finding someone that's going to be able to match your energy, being able to bring to the table what you're going to bring. Now, there's different partnerships out there. So, is this person going to be that person that's basically you're trying to mirror, like yourself? Is that how it's going to work? Or are they just there for the financial aspect of it? Are they there to bring in the business, and you do most of the work? I mean, partnerships come in so many different varieties. So, you definitely have to get that figured out, because, yeah, it can be a blessing. It can be a good thing, But if you're trying to find that person that, you know, is going to be your mirror and replicate you, well, that's going to be hard. That's going to be difficult. You guys have to be the same like mind person, guys or girls, by the way. Are they need to be on the same page as you. You have to find that person with the same personality that's going to be driven and is going to just put everything into this, to make it work, because that's what it takes. This is, you're not going to just, like that back in the day, you build it, they will come. That's not even relevant anymore, okay? Not even close to being relevant. You build it, and yeah, you better go out there and find them and bring them to you, because they're not just going to come. It doesn't work that way. Sounds good, it'd be nice, but guaranteed 98%, 99% of the time, that's not going to happen. So remember that. Now, when it comes to partnership, again, you're trying to figure out what they are bringing to the table, and they're thinking the same thing, like if they want to go into this business with you, they're probably also thinking, you know, realistically, it's like, all right, well, um, what are we going to bring to the table? Are they going to bring the same energy that I'm bringing? Those kind of things are really what makes the difference, when it comes to partnerships. Because sometimes they might feel like they're doing more work than you are, right? And then, but they want, to get compensated either more or vice versa. You could be the one that started this whole business, and you have the idea, you have the manpower, you set everything up, and all of a sudden, like, you brought them in thinking that it was going to be a 50-50 kind of deal, and they're not doing nowhere near as much as you're doing. That, my friend, is where it starts to go downtown. And again, that happens on both sides, So I would definitely have something written out, like, whereas, especially if you don't really know, maybe have tasks for what you're going to do and bring to the table, right? And then also, for them, and of course, again, when it comes to partnerships, you both have to agree on this. You know what I mean? So you got to figure out what's going to be good for you, and then go from there. You have your set of responsibilities that you're going to have, and they're going to have their same responsibilities. and it's got to work together. It has to commingle to make this work. So definitely have that figured out first, and a very solid business plan. And if you watch some of my other videos, I talked about how you're going to need so much more money than you think to get this started. So that's another thing, especially if you have two people, because now you're not even worried about what your bills are. Yet they also are going to, have to worry about their bills. Now, when it comes to most businesses, if there's a way that you can figure out how to do this while still keeping your full-time job, and then when this business is replacing 1 to 2 times your, you know, salary now, you already know you got to dive right in, right? So if you're not financially set, that's what I recommend, by just doing something basically, on the side to start that out that way, and then, you know, grow from there. You know what I mean? But if you have the money, for sure, and a plan, dive right in. But if you don't, that's another mistake, and you don't want to make that mistake, because now all you're going to do is probably ruin a friendship, possibly. You're going to not probably succeed, because it just takes a lot more than you think. But back to the partnerships, I think they can be a great thing. I think that sometimes it's a necessity. They might have tools and the money, and you don't, but you have the know-how. So just have it all figured out, and make it happen. So I definitely wish you the best, and make sure you have those everything worked out before you get into a partnership. All right, because it could be, like I said in the heading, the title, it could be a bad thing, or a good thing. So, all right, well, I wish you the best. So have a good day.